Hi, Horror Recapped here. Today, I am going to be covering the first episode of Squid Game. Squid Game is a South Korean horror, survival drama series, in which you'll watch 456 people play a game. Winners will get a big amount in reward. Beware and stay safe. Sung Gi-hun lives in a house with his mother. Today is his daughter's birthday and wants to celebrate it, but he is broke. His mother gives him some money so he could take his daughter out to a good restaurant. Gi-hun left his job to try out a different business but failed miserably. His wife divorced him and married someone who is more successful than him. Since Gi-hun is broke, the court orders his daughter to live with her mother. He gets to see his daughter only once a year, on her birthday. Gi-hun is involved in gambling on horse races. He takes the money that his mother gives him and gambles with it. He loses some money in the first race but decides to bet again on number 6. This time, he wins. He takes his money from the counter and tips the worker. He calls to brag about his winnings and sees some people approaching. Oh crap! They're the loan sharks. He is indebted to them. He starts running. He bumps into a girl and apologizes to her, but they catch up to him in the bathroom. They beat him up and demand their money. Gi-hun tells them about the gambling money that he has just won. He asks them to take that money for now and the remaining will be paid soon. He checks his pockets but couldn't find his money. He realizes that the girl he bumped into has taken his money. They threaten and beat him up for lying. Before he can explain anything, they give him a paper to sign. This paper allows them to take his kidney if he does not return their money within the next month. He signs with his blood. They leave. With no money at all, he goes back to ask the worker for his tip back. Gi-hun goes to a toy shop to win a cheap toy and a claw machine for his daughter's birthday, but is unsuccessful. A young boy tells him that he needs to know what he wants before he tries to get it. The boy helps him win a toy for his daughter and they both get very excited. Gi-hun then takes his daughter to an outdoor restaurant for dinner. He gives her the toy as a birthday present. When he opens it, it turns out to be a lighter in the shape of a gun. She doesn't like it, and Gi-hun gets sad because he loves his daughter a lot. She also loves her father and tries to cheer him up about her gift and the dinner, even though her stepfather had taken her to a steakhouse earlier that day. His daughter wants to tell her father something when he mentions her next birthday, but holds back. After dinner, Gi-hun walks his daughter back to her mother's house. After leaving her, he needs to take the subway back home but unfortunately misses the train. He sits on a bench, defeated and frustrated. A well-dressed man walks over and sits beside him. The man wants to talk but Gi-hun is frustrated about missing his train and refuses to talk. That man lures him in with 100,000 South Korean won for every time he wins. Gi-hun is intrigued. The person tells him about the game and he is hopeful about winning. Gi-hun picks blue and the goal of the game is to try and flip the opponent's color by throwing down your color. They start the game, but already fail in the first round. The stranger asks him to pay the money for losing but knowing Gi-hun has none, he sets a rule. He slaps Gi-hun on the face and says that every time Gi-hun loses, he will be slapped. But again, he loses. He keeps on playing and losing, and his cheeks become red. Gi-hun tries again and finally wins. He swings his arm to slap the person but he stops him and gives him money. He had forgotten all about the money. Before the man leaves, he gives him a card and says to contact him if he wants to earn more money. Then he explains that Gi-hun will have to play a game and, if he wins, will get a large sum of money as a reward. The man knows everything about Gi-hun's financial condition and problems, including the high school he attended, personal life, and debt. Gi-hun asks him how he knows, but the man avoids the question and says that he has limited seats for the participants. The man then gets on the subway and leaves, waving to Gi-hun. Gi-hun then goes home with the money he won from the game and his mother drops the news that his ex-wife is moving to the US with her husband along with Gi-hun's daughter. Gi-hun would never be able to see his daughter again. His mother then tells him about her conversation with a lawyer, that if the two of them can make enough money, he can appeal from the court to order his ex-wife to let their daughter live with him. Gi-hun loves his daughter very much and is upset because of this situation. At night, he looks at the pictures he has of his daughter. He does not want her to go to the US. Meanwhile, he remembers the man who gave him a card at the subway station. Determined to fight for his daughter, Gi-hun calls the number and is asked about his name and date of birth. That night, a car arrives at his doorstep to pick him up. There are already some people in the car, but they are unconscious. When Gi-hun gets into the car, the driver releases gas in the car and it makes him faint. The driver is wearing a gas mask to protect against passing out. When he comes to his senses, he finds himself in a room with many contestants, all in bunk beds. All the participants have an assigned number on their shirt. Gi-hun's number is 456, which is the last number in the list. He meets an old man and has a conversation with him. The old man says he has a brain tumor and doesn't have much time left. The girl who had stolen his money is also in the room and is number 67. While she is fighting another player in the room, Gi-hun recognizes her, and starts to push her around for stealing his money. The doors open and masked people in red walk in, and one of them, with a square on his mask, starts to address the participants. He tells them about the rules and regulations of the game. He says that there are 6 levels. To win this game, the participants have to pass each level. Gi-hun asks him about the amount of the reward. The person who is speaking about rules points at a big glass bowl hanging from the ceiling. He says that after finishing the first round, they will show the prize money in this bowl. The staff give all the participants a form with 3 conditions. Seeing that everyone is signing, Gi-hun also signs the paper. After that, the participants go through a machine and are asked to smile in front of a camera. In another room, a masked and cloaked figure watches all the pictures of the participants on a screen. All the participants walk up the stairs and arrive in another room that looks like an outdoor field. Here, Gi-hun finds his childhood friend. A robotic doll talks about the first game. The name of the game is Red Light, Green Light. The winner of the game is the person who crosses the red line first. The robot will play a song and they can move when the song is being played, but when the song stops, everyone should behave like a statue, otherwise he or she will be killed. The song starts and no one moves except 2 people. Then, the song stops and the person at the front loses his balance. He is shot and falls to the ground. The second person moves forward to look at the first one. He sees that his friend is dead, and since he also moved, he is shot by the robot as well. Everyone panics and many of the participants start running backwards toward the door. The robot starts shooting the people who move, and a lot of the contestants die trying to escape the room. The remaining people understand that if they move, they will also be dead. They start to play the game. Sung is shaken, laying on the floor as the game is being played. His friend, who is also a contestant, tells him that he should stay behind another player since the robot is tracking movement. He takes his friend's advice. Sung is very close to the red line when he trips on a dead person's arm. He starts to fall as the robot turns around for the red light, but is caught by another player. Sung, along with some other participants, including the one who helped him, cross the red line right before the timer runs out. There are 5 people other than Sung who are important characters. One is his friend, the second, the girl that stole his money, third, a Pakistani man who helped him when he fell, and fourth, an old man. The 5th person is the villain, the masked man who was watching the players on a big screen. See you in the next episode. Subscribe for more and like this video if you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.